Hi, my name is Lindsay Vanderlyn, and I'm just going to be talking about the social ecological model and how it applies to public health concepts. Um, Going into this class and this module and everything, I didn't know what the social ecological model was. I thought that it was I assumed how your social life and your environment and everything kind of combined to influence your decisions, but I never really thought about the different tiers of it all. I kind of just was like, oh yeah, your surroundings and society affect you. But I never thought about all the different aspects, so I just wanted to dive deeper into that with this video and kind of give some examples of different areas of your life that this applies to, because it really applies to a lot. You could apply it to any situation and just look at the different ways that each tier of this model influences you. So there are four tiers to this model. It starts off with individual, and then it goes to relationships and community, and then finally society. And all of these factors combined affect every decision that we make, just the way that we are as humans. Just a lot of public health topics. One that I always use as an example is proneness to drug addiction. I'll walk through that later, but that's just a good way for me to like categorize it all, just in a very clear way. I'd never heard of this model before this class, but I now love it. It's just a great way to look at a situation and think, oh, this is why they're doing this, because their family is like this, or because this is how they were raised. It just helps put into perspective why people are the way that they are, and I think that's just really cool. Okay, so the first tier is individual, and this is just biological personal history about you. So this could be your age, your gender, your income, just all things that are specific to you, even your education, and just things that are unique to you and that affect your decisions. And so for the drug abuse example, how prone you are to drug addiction, it would be do you have any history using substances? Are you religious? Have you ever tried drugs? This is all just things that are very specific to you. So at this individual level, there are ways to change it. I was saying that it's kind of all specific to you, age, gender, race, stuff like that, but education's another thing, and education is something that we can constantly be improving, and so this is the main way that this stage, this level can be improved. Also, life skills training. You don't have to go to college, just learning a skill, just anything that can help you just become a more functioning member of society is just great, and that's the main way that this level can be kind of upgraded. Okay, so the next level is relationships, and this is just your closest social circle, not quite your acquaintances really. It's mainly friends, family, romantic partners, stuff like that. They just really have such a big impact on your behavior and just the way that you act. I personally tend to kind of morph and change depending on the people I'm with. I feel like a lot of people do, and so that has just such a big impact on who you are as a person, the decisions you make. And so back to the drug addiction, how prone you are to drug addiction. If your mom was a drug addict and your dad doesn't care if you do drugs in the house and all of this stuff, that's obviously going to have such a major impact on someone and make someone way more prone to do drugs and get addicted than just someone whose parents are don't allow that in the house, and they don't even know anyone that does drugs, because the people around you, whether you realize it or not, are the biggest influence on you, especially your parents. That's why parenting is emphasized so much in this tier. And this tier, I was talking about the ways to upgrade education in the last tier. This one would be parenting, family counseling, stuff like that. That's really just gonna drill into your home environment. Okay, so the third tier is community, and this is just kind of the setting that you're in, your school, your workplace, your neighborhood, just your area, basically, that you live in, just your local community, and this has such a major impact, mainly I would say like economically, at least for the environment, like what type of neighborhood you live in, just the types of people that are around you, the level of education that your school is giving you, and just like I would say the main one is if there's a presence of violence in the area. For the example, I keep talking about the drug addiction. This, like, if you grew up in a neighborhood where drugs are just present and available, that's that the access is there. Like, it's highly likely that you're gonna partake in it, especially if you go to a school where people do drugs and people your age are doing drugs, and or there's violence, which is a lot of times associated with drugs. It's just a cycle, and it's really hard to break, especially when you're stuck in that environment and you don't really have a choice when you're a kid, like where you can live or not. So like improving, reducing violence, improving economic housing opportunities for people would be a game changer, and that's something that is constantly trying to be improved. The last tier is societal, and this is just talking about culture and like society, cultural norms. Um, so for the like, I would say this. My mind immediately goes to like rap music and just how that has affected like the way that people view women, the way that drugs are viewed as cool, and violence, and just like all of that kind of wrapped up. Rap songs, rappers try to make it seem like it's cool or like it's super normal to do hard drugs, and this is like have a huge impact on the children because rap music is like one of the fastest growing genres right now, um, and so it's just sad to see that that's just becoming a more normal thing. And even if people don't really like rap music or don't view it as a heavy like influence on their lives, like it is influencing them. It is just like the exposure to it is just making it more normal. Another thing about society is the government, and this has to do a lot with drug addiction and drugs because it's illegal, and the government enforces these laws, and you will be prosecuted and go to jail if you are caught with like some of these illegal substances. So that's a huge influence, and that's a huge deter from that. But yeah, so I kind of walked you through that tier with the drug addiction example. I hope that made sense. I really think that this social ecological model could be applied to so many other things in public health and just health in general. There's anything that like any topic in health can be like I could make a chart and fill it out with this model, which is just great. So yeah, I really enjoyed walking through this model, and I hope that that all made sense. And I'm really enjoying this class. I'm actually learning a lot, so it's great.